It's been nearly a month now since I played the Detroit Become Human demo. And, well, hang on. Before I continue, I want to know if the audio is good or not. God, I'm tired. So just give me 1 second. Just 1 second. Okay, the audio's good. Now, before anybody says anything, is like, what are you, an idiot? You're playing the, you only played the demo. Like, well, let me explain myself. I'm only using the demo, the hostage demo screen here as a background while I talk. I played the full game, but I didn't pay for it. Sorry, I need a drink of water there. I did play the game, but I didn't pay for it. I got it through Redbox. Had to rent it, re-rent it once, so that way I could play it a second time because the game was that good. I gotta say, Detroit Becomes Human. I hope it makes money. Despite the fact that I do not support David Cage games because, he's kind of, hit and miss. But whenever he does, whenever a moment does work, it works great in this game. And the acting is fantastic. I hope that the actors in this game move on to more things. I wouldn't say necessarily bigger and better things. You hope that for the actors, but I'm hoping that they move on to other projects and that I see them in more video games, TV shows, movies. It doesn't matter. The actors are good. I really want to see more of them. I want to see them get more work. But I'll go on about the actors here in a second. I put out a list here about what I wanted to talk about. So I played Detroit Becomes Human. I rented it at a Redbox. I've played it twice already. I think I've gotten a little over 60% of the achievements. And I'm pretty satisfied with the game. There's like plenty of branching paths to take in this game that actually matter, that will actually affect your game in the future, that will actually come to fruition later on in the game, unlike some other games that are also point and click interactive adventures. Telltale. So yeah. God, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm really thirsty right now. Excuse me. All I gotta say is Telltale should definitely take notes. This is how you make a game where your decisions actually matter. Because there's not one time where I didn't think that one of my decisions didn't matter. In the end, I feel like all my decisions had, pros and cons. They had consequences to them. There was outcomes to them. And if it takes 5 years to make a game where you can pick and choose what route, what branch, what character takes. If it takes 5 years, then I think it's definitely worth it over, getting a new piece of the game every couple of months, like for every Telltale game. I don't think I can ever play a Telltale point-and-click adventure after playing Detroit Becomes Human. I really don't think I can. because like there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work put into this. There was um not one moment that I felt like I didn't impact it, because I feel like I did. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to ever go back to Telltale games ever again. It's like if it takes 5 years, I think it's definitely worth the wait and effort. Um, Besides, I got other things going on too, so I'm not just gonna be waiting on them all, the whole time. Um, Obviously, my favorite character's Connor. Connor's my favorite character. Um, Definitely had the most interesting story, while Kara had the most emotional story. And then Marcus, I feel like it took a while for me to really like get invested in his story. It's not that it was poorly acted, and well, okay, the guy that played Leo, I don't think he was taking it seriously. The guy that played Leo, he was just, I think he was either hamming it up or he just didn't give a damn. Yeah. Um. Yeah, but Marcus's story, I just, and then you had Bishop from Aliens in there too. Like it took a while. It took a while to get invested in that story, but when it picked up, it did pick up. I did find Marcus's story the least interesting of the three, to be fair. And then Connor one, Kara number two. It's just kind of how I saw things. I'm sorry. Just yeah. Even though the actor playing Marcus, Jesse Williams, of Grey's Anatomy fame, is the most famous of the three, didn't get the most interesting story. Speaking of actors, all these are very well acted. Valerie Curry started this back like 6 years ago, I think it was. Through that E3 tech demo. I think it might have been 5. I don't know. It was like back when I was still in high school that this tech demo came out. It was like, if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have sparked the interest that David Cage had to make this game. And, the idea. I was like, I'm glad it happened, because this game's cool. I like this game. It's like Valerie Curry, emotional performance. Aubrey Bustani, I think that's how you say her. The little girl that played Alice. I'm just gonna call her Aubrey. Aubrey is Alice. I'll be honest. I would have took a bullet for that little girl. At times, I almost did take a bullet for that little girl. I don't know. Just couldn't let anything happen to the little girl. It's like, you have a sense of duty all of a sudden to protect this little girl. You just can't let her die. Let's see, Brian Detgard as Connor. Amazing. Favorite character. Really, it wasn't just the acting that I really liked. The performance by Brian Detgard. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. If I am saying your name wrong, but Brian Detgard, I feel like had the best performance, and I think it was a mixture of his performance and the writing, how his character was written, that made me think, that made me say that, oh yeah, Connor's definitely the best character of Detroit Becomes Human, obviously. And then you have Valerie Curry, again, emotional performance. And I'm not gonna lie, she looked a lot like Jennifer Lawrence. Whether that is a good or a bad thing is up to you. Oh, also, speaking of celebrity lookalikes, the Chloe, the android in the main menu, I swear she looked like Scarlett Johansson, like a blonde. Oh, Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, it almost made me think it was Scarlett Johansson if I didn't know what her voice sounded like. It's kind of weird. Um, but yeah, it was like Brian Deckard, and of course I can't forget Clancy Brown because who played Hank. I can't forget Clancy Brown, the Clancy Brown, who was playing an antagonistic guard in Shawshank Redemption, who voices Mr. Krabs from SpongeBob and voiced Lex Luthor in the DCAU. That Clancy Brown, yes. Um, yeah, I couldn't. I really like the relationship between Hank and Connor. Even though Hank is a bit of a cliche detective character, like there was a few in there. Like, okay, um, here, what's a cliche I can point out? A detective that's alcoholic. Cliche. It's been done. Max Payne, you could dare say, was a detective that was an alcoholic. Let's see what's another one. Tragedy Struck, a detective, of course. I wouldn't say Hank is washed up, but I guess you could argue that he was washed up. So yeah, it's like despite the fact that Hank's character was cliche, I feel that Clancy Brown took the writing that was given to him from David Cage and he amplified it and he gave it such a spin that even though Hank was a cliche detective character, he was a likable detective character. Even when he's cursing at you, I'm not even salty about that. It's just how Clancy Brown just kind of just took what he had and did the most with it is what made the game for me, or what made Hank's character for me as a whole. So yeah, it's I give massive props to the chemistry, I guess you could say, between Brian Deckard and Clancy Brown. Everybody in the cast did fantastic. It's the graphics in this game are almost photorealistic, and I don't ordinarily say that. I don't ordinarily say that. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Because I don't really care about graphics as long as the game's fun, as long as the story's engaging, characters are likable, at least because I am playing as them. They should be likable. As long as all that's good, I'm good. And graphics are a bonus. Like some of the best games I've ever played don't have good graphics. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man on the PS1. Let's see, what's another game? Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Had good graphics for the time, but graphics didn't hold up. It was Saints Row, all that stuff. Excuse me, first two Saints Rows. Just all that stuff. So yeah, it was the graphics really popped out to me because caught that facial expressions, it captured the face of what the actor looks like. It looks just like the actor. The hair looks very realistic. It's just massive performance capture. So the graphics were so good, I couldn't let it go unnoticed. I have to give credit that the graphics look amazing. The graphics are next levels. And it just makes me this is how this game looks. Imagine what Spider-Man PS4 is going to look like whenever it finally comes out this September, give or take 3 months time. So graphics, oh my god, amazing. Just going into this game, well, when I was booting it up for the first time, knowing David Cage's reputation, I was expecting at least one awkward sex scene. one awkward shower scene, and a lot of melodrama. I ended up only getting one of those three things while playing the game. I only got melodrama. Just a little bit of melodrama. I didn't get an awkward sex scene, thank God. I didn't get an awkward shower scene. David Cage, I think he's growing as a writer. Either that or he couldn't find a way to put those two other things in the story because they revolve around three androids. I mean, who wants to see that, right? That's kind of weird. So, um, yeah, hey, if he's not gonna include any of those two elements I just mentioned in any of his future games, kudos to David Cage. You're growing as a writer, man. um, you know, some people thought that the writing for Beyond Two Souls was alright to meh to garbage, and I was thinking, well, okay, if the writing isn't good for this game, at the very least I can enjoy the soundtrack, the acting, because, you know, I could already tell that the acting was great. The soundtrack, the acting, and I could enjoy the high production value that comes with David Cage games. I gotta say, David Cage surprised me. You know, even though it took like, I don't know, I think like half of the amount of chapters that Marcus had for me to really gain investment for him. Right off the bat, I was already having a connection with Connor. Right off the bat, I was already having a connection with Kara. So I have to give him credit. I have to give David Cage credit. He did pretty good with this one. You know, there's some parts that were melodramatic with Kara and dare I say Marcus. But overall, the writing was pretty solid. Story was pretty good. Branching narratives, oh, there's plenty of branching narratives to go. Ruby Rose says LOL. How you doing, Ruby? It's right where I'm at. It's 12:15. I'm getting kind of sleepy, and I got work tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna go on for another 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna leave. Yeah, that's what I'll do. One more thing I gotta say is before I leave and before I forget, because I know I'm gonna forget, because I am that kind of person that forgets things that are right in front of them. You know, aside from all that I mentioned, you know, like David Cage, you know, he delivered and all that. You know, it's like I already knew he was gonna have high production value because there better be high production value. This thing took 5 years to make. 2 for scripting, another 3 for graphics and polishing. You know, graphics, polishing, character models, all that stuff. Movement, you know, constructing the game. One more thing I gotta say, because I keep getting off task, or off topic, sorry, is that the man himself, Brian Dedgard, who plays Connor in this game, that guy right there, he is streaming the game every Sunday at 1 p.m. depending on your time zone. I think he's live streaming the game from Seattle. So every Sunday at 1 p.m. depending on your time zone, like I said, he live streams the game on Twitch. And I think you guys should check it out. I've already watched the first stream, and it's very interesting to get some insight from not just one actor, but 2 actors that worked on this game. Brian Dedgard and his fiancée, Amelia Rose. I think I said her name right. Here, let me see. Amelia Rose Blair. Okay, so Brian, you know, every Sunday, 1 p.m. depending on your time zone. Brian Detgerd live streams the game with his fiancee Amelia Rose Blair, who played the blue-haired well, both Tracys, no, not just blue-haired Tracy, but both Tracys, and they live stream it every Sunday. They've been live streaming it every Sunday since the game came out, and I think that if you want, just a suggestion, you should check out the live stream. I've already checked out the live stream, the first live stream, because I found it very interesting to get insight from two of the actors. And Brian Detgerd's a really cool guy. I like Brian, so I'm gonna give him a shout out here from the Master Quest himself. And yeah, you should definitely check out the stream that Brian airs every Sunday. Only if you want to know more insight about the behind the scenes of the making of Detroit Becomes Human, because we all know there's not going to be a documentary making on this thing. It's not a movie. It's a, they should start doing that with video games. They should just make like a behind the scenes documentary that's like an hour and a half. I'll sit down and watch it if I like the game enough. I mean, I did that with movies. So yeah, shout out to Brian and Amelia Rose Blair. Definitely check out their stream if you want to know more. If you want to know more about the game, get more insight on the game. They air it every Sunday on Twitch. I think it was Twitch.tv. I don't know. I don't get on Twitch often, but I only got on Twitch because I heard about Brian live streaming the game through his Instagram. I follow him on Instagram now. So yeah, I can't wait to watch part 2 of the 5 live streams. He said he was going to do 5 live streams for the game. Yeah, I'll watch part 2 whenever I have time. Yeah, I've been a busy person. Probably going to stay that way too. So yeah, check out the live stream. This game's good. I rented it. Will I buy it? Yes. But it has to go down a little. $60 is pretty steep for a video game, okay? There's branching paths everywhere and stuff, but $60 is still $60. I'll probably buy it when it's 40. For sure when it's 30. Like, I see it at 30. There. Here's the money. It's mine now. 40, maybe. But for sure, go out to your local Redbox, rent it, or if you have $60 to shell out and you just want to play this game, shell out them $60, man. Just throw the 320s at the GameStop employee and tell him it's yours now. Anyway, that's all for now. I'm gonna go to bed, check out that live stream, and play this game if you're interested. You know who I am, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to bed. Peace.